What is going on, everyone? We have got an amazing show lined up. It's not just the one person show. T-Shroom is back here with me today. We got to talk about a lot of things because prices are down right now. But if anyone is watching the news, if anyone's watching what's going on, there's a crypto wave that is coming. And we're going to talk about a lot of coins that could have some explosive price action in the next couple of months. But you want to be getting into them now. You don't want to wait for all the explosions in prices to happen. You want to get in now. We're going to be talking about that and a whole lot more. So if you're excited about today's show, the first thing you got to do is you got to smash that like button. The second thing is stick around for the entire thing, and you won't be disappointed. T-Shroom, let's roll that intro.
We doing it.
All right. There we go.
I don't think we've both been on the screen since Saturday. We've been busy.
That's true. I mean, to be fair, it's only Tuesday, so it's not like there's a lot of days in between there. But of course, last week there was a lot of only T-Shrooms. The weekend before that, there was a lot of only Tims. We're gonna have a wedding on Saturday. Not you and me, but you are, and I'm gonna be there. Because that's how those things work. And then a week after that, it's going to be like an entire week of only Tims. So people are really, they're getting a lot of good mix and matches when it comes to bros. You got some T-Shroom alones, you got some Tim alones, you got some of us together, but they're all great. It's all good stuff. T-Shroom, it's good to be on the show back with you. Always love having you here. Do you have a quote of? Well, hold on. I didn't ask you a very important question.
I was noticing that.
It would have been a colossal mistake to go too much further forward.
Gigantic.
Enormous. Huge, some might say. How are you doing today?
Well, Tim, I'm glad you asked. I'm actually better than I deserve. And I do have a quote for us. The combination of a blazer over a T-shirt with a pair of jeans is foolproof. This, of course, is the legend, Ryan Seacrest. Tim, are you in resonance? Are you in confluence here with big Ryan on this?
No, I am not. The combination of a T-shirt and casual gym shorts is the foolproof way to go, or a hoodie if it's cool outside. No, I don't understand why we've done this to ourselves as a people. Why have we decided to look good? You need to wear like 18 layers of clothing with these strict, restrictive, nasty-feeling clothes called sports jackets or, blazers. What's the point? Take it off. Who are you fooling? Just untuck your shirt. Don't be a weirdo. Just wear your T-shirt. Jeans. Listen, anyone who thinks that jeans are comfortable has been lying to themselves and you for years. Jeans suck. Wear basketball shorts. Listen, we're going to make a lot of money in crypto. Who do we need to impress with our attire? Dress what keeps you comfortable. And if you're telling me it's blazers and jeans, there's something wrong with you. You're probably not making a lot of money in crypto. Dang. I'm just kidding. Maybe you're making a lot of money in crypto. You know what? A lot of people wear. I feel like I'm offending a very large section of people, and I don't want to offend you. I just want to call into question, like, if you want to look that way because you think it looks good. All right, fine. You know what? I disagree. I like when I see another bro in the street wearing a T-shirt and basketball shorts. I'm like, listen, man, let's get it. We're bros. We're go. But if you like the way it looks to wear jeans and button-up shirts and blazers, fine. But don't lie to us and yourself by saying that they're more comfortable than T-shirts and shorts, because that's a lie. If you like the way it looks, that's fine. I feel like we've gone enough. We didn't think we were going to have a rant from Tim this early on such a topic, but that's what you get here. When you join the Investing Bros, you never know what you might see any given day at 3 p.m.
Just Jim hit the like button.
I like it. I like Just Jim. Just Jim seems like the type of person who would just wear basketball shorts and a T-shirt as well. Real quick, before we get too much further into the stream, this stream, guys, is brought to you by BloFin, the trading partner of the Bros. If you are looking to buy and sell and make a lot of money in this crypto market, but you're looking for an exchange, A, maybe you don't have to KYC. B, maybe you want to do some leverage trading responsibly, obviously. You're going to want to check out BloFin. It's a partner of the channel. Of course, when you use the BloFin link in the description down below, not only do you get access to the #1 trading exchange in the world right now, but you also support the bros. So shout out to BloFin for being a partner. Shout out to you guys for using it. And so go ahead and check that link out if you have not already. With that said, let's talk about coins going up and going down. When we go to my screen here, T-Shroom, you're going to see some big green bubbles.
Yep.
But you also see a sea of red here. So we got to break down what's happening. First of all, let's talk about what's not happening, and that is not being a red coin. See what I did there, T-Shroom? Thank you for that. I like that you did that. I've never even seen this coin, but it's up 13.8%. Not, a lot of different places you can trade on it as well. Have you seen this one?
Yes, I have. If you think about what not is backwards, it will reveal the community that is behind this.
Oh, is it Ton?
Oh.
Ton coin. Okay. Wow, good to know. Floki continues its green upward trajectory. Chili's, a long-lost love of Tim's. I'm no longer invested in it. I gave up on my love a long time ago because, she wasn't ready for me. I had to move on with my life. I was moving ahead. I was more mature. I wanted to look for a serious commitment with my portfolio. And I didn't feel like Chili's was ready for me, but it's good to see she's doing well. She's still alive, up 10%. The reason why I always love Chili's is because it's a coin focusing on the sports world. Another one of my loves. But unfortunately, it was just one I couldn't commit to. There were other coins calling my name who were ready for that full-blown commitment in my portfolio. WIF is doing... Yep, go ahead.
I was going to say Chili's, what they're marketing themselves as now, they're building the Web3 infrastructure for sports and entertainment.
Yeah.
Very cool. I mean, they've got this website's, it's decent, they've got Barcelona.
Listen, it was a cool concept 3 years ago as well. And it just couldn't become everything it really would have and should have been. Let's check out the rest of these bubbles that are popping up on us. WIF up 11%. Bonk only 6%. TIA. Now, we got yesterday on the show, we put in a trade for TIA that we thought we'd get a little bit of a dip first. It didn't happen. So anyone watched the show yesterday, we didn't get in on the TIA. If you copied my trade, you didn't get it on TIA. Some of you who maybe bought at the moment wanted to take a little more risk, which I said was a possibility. You guys had a great time. This is one that got away from me, but that's okay. Here's something before we move too much further. If you ever try to set up a limit trade where you're waiting for some form of a pullback or something to enter into it and you miss it, I want to discourage you from changing the way you do trading to try to get more aggressive and go after those by chasing pumps. More often than not, you will be disappointed. This is what I can promise you. If you miss out on a good trade today, guess what? There will be another one tomorrow and another one the next day. Do not chase. Do not settle for crappy entries and exits. Play your game. Trade the right way with the right levels. You'll get some. You'll miss out on some, but there will always be another one tomorrow. Today, the story of that is TIA. Big loser of the day I'm looking at right now. One of our favorites, Stacks, is down 7%. Core is down 7%. Arweave, it looks like, is down 7%. As a whole, though, that's not too concerning to me to see things down 7%. Why? Because we had like a week of a sea of green. Whenever you have a lot of green, you're doomed to have some red. And that's exactly what we're seeing here in the top 10. Bitcoin wrestled with a level of support. We're going to talk on the charts here in just a couple of minutes. Back up at 68,000, but still down 2.7% in the last 24 hours since we were here yesterday talking about crypto. Ethereum down nearly 3%. Let's see if there's any bigger losers. Dogecoin not joining its brethren, the meme coin bumps in prices. It's down 3.7%. Toncoin up, the sole top 10 coin that's actually in the green over the last 24 hours. Not by a lot. It's only up 0.7%. But, hey, you take your wins however they come. That's right. Toncoin up today. Cardano down 2.8%. Sheeb, just outside the top 10, is up 1.4%. AVAX, of course, AVAX was a big gainer yesterday. And, of course, now that means it should have a decent-sized loss. It's down almost 4%. That kind of wraps up some of ours. Look at this, though, guys. ChainLink continuing to climb up the ladder in CoinMarketCap. You guys know we have a prediction, a hot take. It makes it into the top 5, maybe even top 3, but it's slowly but surely working its way up the rankings, now at number 13 in your CoinMarketCap rankings, right there neck and neck with Polkadot. But I'm not going to be surprised to here in a couple days see that maybe at number 12 and then 11. And then as the summer goes on, maybe we crack into the top 10. Watch out, guys. ChainLink. Great coin out there. Before we go into the charts, T-Shirt, any thoughts you have about movements today? Anything you're trading, buying right now that the people need to know about?
Yeah, well, my thesis today, Tim, in the 9 a.m. stream was that there's a large rotation out of Bitcoin and into altcoins, specifically meme coins, and
Okay.
also GameStop. I wanted to check in really quick. Yes. So GameStop is still up 21.5% today in trading. This is the daily candles here. So, obviously not all of the liquidity is coming from Bitcoin rotation, but here you can see up still 22%. That's for GME. GME had a huge pump today in pre-market, and it hasn't really died down too much from what I've seen. So that's what I'm seeing is a bit of a profit taking on stocks and on Bitcoin, and a rotation into deeper risk, specifically meme coins and GME.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I still think that is like the meme coin of the stock market world. So if you're trading if you're trading any of those things over there that are pumping the stock market, be careful. Just be careful.
For sure.
It's not based off of anything of true value. It's based off of more the meme of it all. Again, the concept of being a part of that community that pumps a token, or no, it's not even a token, that pumps a stock for really no reason whatsoever. It's
being
exciting.
Manipulated by a non-institutional group, it seems to me, which is even more unpredictable than manipulation by institutions. So I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole. I think when GME first pumped a couple weeks ago, I bought like $1 of it, right? Just because I wanted to try it out, and it's free on Robinhood to enter and exit trade. So thought I might as well. Tim, let's look at your charts.
Let's do the charts here. We're going to start off on the 4-hour chart. Now, a breakout will be coming at some point. You guys can see here a symmetrical triangle on Bitcoin. I posted this on Twitter. Well, guess what, guys? Within the last 30 minutes, we had a little bit of a, are we going to lose support here? And is Bitcoin going to go downside? Either way, what you guys should be watching for on Bitcoin, when a breakout happens inevitably over the next little bit. I mean, we can only get to about June 3rd before it's got to make a decision up or down. This should be the targets you're looking at right here. Of course, this line is coming from the opening of this formation. You move it over to a potential breakout spot. We're looking at a target up towards 77,000. That would be 76,900. I mimicked this, mirrored it, came to the downside. If we break to the downside, you're looking possibly down to 61,700. I posted this on Twitter, got a lot of people reaching out to me, T-Shroom, asking, what is my personal opinion? Well, here's the thing. This is one of those tall tale classic technical analysis claims I'm going to make. Could go up, could go down. People hate when technical analysts say it, but that's because most people just want to know, do I buy and go away or do I sell and go away? Here's what I'm kind of looking at right now. Yeah, that's my tweet right there. But by the way, guys, go follow us on Twitter. I need to do a much better job, T-Shroom, we need to promote our Twitter more. We need to do more stuff on Twitter. YouTube is growing like weeds, and I thank you guys so much for subscribing and smashing that like button each and every single day. But if you're not, listen, there's 18,000 of you subscribed to the channel. I'm still under 10K of my followers on Twitter. T-Shroom, I think, are you pushing 6K at this point?
I am. I just crossed over 5K, so pushing 6K I think would be a bit of an overstatement.
That means there's a whole lot of you guys who love the YouTube content. You always wake up at 9 a.m. and you see the news show, then you come back at 3 p.m. and you watch our daily show. If you want to see what we're thinking throughout the day, you can join our free Discord, and you can go follow us on Twitter.
Yeah.
It would be super cool. Let's go back over to Bitcoin, though. Let's talk about this, because people are asking me, Tim, what's going to happen here? I'm going to tell you my opinion, my thought is that Bitcoin moves to the upside. Couple of reasons why. Everything in the news right now is bullish. Also, when you're looking at symmetrical triangle patterns, one of the things you're watching for is what was the direction price came from. More often than not, it continues in that trend. Sometimes you see symmetrical triangle patterns become reversal patterns, but more often than not, they're continuation patterns. And in this case, we moved bullishly into this triangle. So therefore, more often than not, statistically, you move bullishly out of the triangle. That's not final. That's just one of my reasons. Another reason why, when we pull up Lux Algo, one of my favorite, the best trading indicator out there, especially if you want to make money in trading and get some good calls, there's a lot of support sitting right here, not just with this ascending level of support, but we got a very strong bullish breaker block. We have the top of that smart trail concept here on the 4-hour chart. There's another order block right beneath it. So as a whole, even though we're lower right now, we're testing those support bands, we're seeing a lot of support in that area. And of course, there's going to be some resistance if we get back up here towards 70,000. There's a nice order block right there. But I see less resistance stopping us from moving to the upside and more support stopping us from moving to the downside. So therefore, I am going to predict / more expect a move to the upside and possibly into the zone we talked about just yesterday of maybe getting, to new all-time highs, maybe even as high as 80,000. But the next stop's going to be 77 because that's where the symmetrical triangle breakout should take us. That being said, I started this whole thing off by saying could go up, could go down. You need to incorporate that sentence into your investing. Why? Because you should not be trading and investing based off of your emotional state or what you're wanting to happen. You should always be ready for a change. And in this case, while I'm expecting / predicting a bullish breakout, if a bearish one happens, I'm ready for it. I know where the next level of the downside is. In this case, it's back down to those lower $60,000 levels, not quite to 60,000, but 61,700 is going to be an interesting spot. And of course, if I were to pull these things back up here and go to a little bit longer time frame, let's go like, for example, the 8-hour chart. There we go. We have, even though we have another bullish breaker right here on 64,000, there's a nice order block down here on 61,000. There's a nice level of support. And I think that that's entirely okay for Bitcoin to go to those levels. If I go to a different screen over here, different chart for Bitcoin, you guys know, even though I've flirted with the concept that I could be wrong at this point, my original hypothesis that I made before the halving that most of Bitcoin's price action for the next couple of months would stay below 71,000 and above 61,000, give or take, could still be in order. So if we drop down to 61,000, that's actually just kind of staying with the normal historical movements of Bitcoin by moving in a sideways range for months after the halving event. Like I said, this is one of those things that you don't want to try to make a prediction and then refuse to acknowledge anything else. This is a great opportunity to be ready for anything and know what levels and targets you're looking for, what triggers you're looking for to know if you should be longing Bitcoin right now, buying it because maybe this is the lowest you're going to see in a long time, or potentially saying, you know what? I might be seeing a $62,000 Bitcoin again. I got some dry powder on the sideline. I'm going to wait on this one. I'm going to wait to see if we get those lower levels, and then I want to buy in because $62,000 Bitcoin is a better buy than $68,000 Bitcoin. That's a simple mathematics. As a whole, though, like I showed you on these charts, a lot more reasons to be bullish, in my personal opinion, when it comes to Bitcoin than reasons to be bearish at this point. So let's continue to watch how this one works out. I will say here, what you're looking for target-wise, let's turn this one up. I want to leave that one on. Let's turn this off. What I'm looking for, if we lose this breaker block and we start to see below 67,000 in play, now we're starting to probably lean towards saying, you know what, lower move back down towards 62,000 is increasing in probability as the direction Bitcoin wants to go. But until we break and close some candles down to that level, I think the more realistic expectation is the upper move, the higher move, and potentially new all-time highs coming in the next couple of weeks. That's what we're seeing on Bitcoin here. Another reason why, we're going to talk about a lot of altcoins today. I want to try to do as much TA there as possible. I'm going to leave it to the stories to get into the candle or the coins when we get there. But I want to bring to your attention another topic when it comes to Bitcoin before we leave the scheduled TA section and go into some stories. Keep your eyes on what's happening with Bitcoin dominance. I told you guys yesterday, I'm not ready to call it quits just yet on a 60% prediction for Bitcoin dominance. However, with this recent emergence of extremely bullish price action for Ethereum, the biggest component to what makes the Bitcoin dominance go up or down, we're watching Bitcoin dominance come back and wrestle below 54,000. I would say this will start, if we lose this support, this rising support line right here, we come back down below 53, I think I really start to increase my probability that the top for Bitcoin dominance is in this cycle. And if we lose 50,000, if we drop below 50,000, that will be my kind of stamp, my nail in the coffin. That was it, guys. 57% was the high for Bitcoin dominance. We could see Bitcoin dominance get down to levels that, again, I've predicted this, but I would not be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, to see Bitcoin dominance at the top of the bull market on the high end be around 40% like it was back here during the last bull market. But in realistic expectations, especially with so many amazing altcoins out there like Ethereum, like Solana, like Chainlink, and many others, I would not be surprised to see Bitcoin come back down lower, closer to 33, 35% on Bitcoin, levels that it got to way, way back in 2017. 2018, end of 2017, early 2018, 35, 33%. Those are the levels I'm kind of watching for now. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. It's not official. Something could change. Something could snap. We are sitting on support for Bitcoin dominance, but if we start to lose 52 and then 50, that should be the nail in the coffin. It's at least going to be Ethereum season for a time, and alt season is not far behind. But speaking of alt season, if you guys are excited and you guys love altcoins, smash the like button. You always got to smash that like button. But also, we got some great stories to talk about, some great conversation. T-Shroom, why don't you go and take us away into some of our topics for today?
Absolutely, Tim. Well, we've seen some whale buying. We're going to get into it. But first, Tim, I've got to ask you, have you ever had a blood clot?
I mean, technically speaking, anytime you bleed and then produce a scab, that's a blood clot. But if you're talking about one that's dangerous for your health, no, I have not.
That is excellent, Tim. Thank you so much for answering that question very eloquently and precisely. What is prefibral aortal disease? This is what the company that just bought a bunch of Bitcoin, this is what they do. They cure prefibral aortal disease, PAD for short. I don't know much about that, but you might be a biologist or a doctor and you might know a lot more. What matters to me is that they just bought $40 million worth of Bitcoin. This is healthcare pioneer Semler Scientific. And as I just showed you, that they cure a very specific disease with their medical application. So this is really, really interesting. This was their reasoning behind the acquisition. Semler Scientific chairman Eric Semler highlighted Bitcoin's digital resilience, making it preferable to gold, which is market value 10 times that of Bitcoin. He believes the oldest cryptocurrency could generate outsized returns as it gains acceptance. Quotation here, our Bitcoin treasury strategy and purchase underscores our belief that Bitcoin is a reliable store of value and a compelling investment. Bitcoin's unique characteristics as a scarce and finite asset make it a reasonable inflation hedge and haven amid global instability, says Semler. So quite a thick, robust take, very well educated. You can tell this gentleman has done his homework and has been able to get support from the board, and his finance team there over at Semler Scientific to buy into Bitcoin.
I'll tell you this. This is one of the reasons why Bitcoin is the Trojan horse. So people, even if there's a season of time where it seems like the elites get a hold of Bitcoin and crypto and seem to utilize it for evil purposes, eventually it'll all even out because that's the way Bitcoin will work. But there's one thing you can count on when it comes to these institutions, because I don't want to, what's the name of this company? I want to say their name when I say this.
It is Semler Scientific right here.
Semler Scientific. Ultimately, Semler Scientific and other medical companies. Let's not beat around the bush here. They are not about helping you get healthy. They are about how can we get them sick and then sell them some medicine so that we make money and then we fix that problem, but then we cause another problem and then they have to buy this medicine over. I don't think I'm ruffling feathers or breaking any ice for people. Medical companies really care more about their profit margins than they care about actually helping people. However, when it comes to their profit margins, they are not going to let those profit margins and their wealth subside. And so they see the writing on the wall. They see what we have been talking about now for a long time, and that is that Bitcoin is the future of wealth. And so they are saying, gosh, you know what? There's no point in fighting this. Let's stop trying to play this game, but discouraging people from going into this crazy internet money, this decentralized currency. Let's just keep our wealth because that's what we really care about. And so they're going to buy a lot. They're going to get very, very wealthy. They're going to hold a lot of Bitcoin. And they're going to keep making their profits and they keep investing in all these different things. But the good news is, again, because crypto and Bitcoin is decentralized and because it allows the people to regain power, it will eventually smooth out. It'll actually help stop some of the evil practices of companies like this. But that's my point here is ultimately the reason why I love this is because you know that this is one of the defining moments to realize that Bitcoin is the future when these companies like this who have historically tried to discourage people from gaining power and discourage them from crypto, when they're buying in because they see this as the solution to inflation to keep their wealth bags, their money bags high and tight, that's it, guys. Bitcoin won. Bitcoin is the future of wealth. Thank you so much, medical community.
Well, you know what that reminds me of, Tim, because it is very easy in 2024 to be critical of big pharma, and far be it from me to think that big pharma is perfect. They're not. But another person that kind of comes from the pharmaceutical world who's been very pro Bitcoin, but also is kind of going around talking about ideas that I highly agree with, is this man here, Vivek. Right. I really like him. He comes from pharma. There's no denying that. He's a billionaire because of his pharmaceutical innovations in the industry. Was he motivated by profit? Was he motivated by, making money and things like that? Yes. But we could be seeing the beginnings of, kind of a MACD correction going the other way, where the pharmaceutical industry can actually make a little bit more moral steps in the right direction. So we'll see. Well, it could be too early to indicate to that trend.
You don't throw babies out the bathwater. I don't want that. Not every human being that has ever worked in the medical industry is evil. I think there's actually a handful of people who really do care when they go to school for 18 years, it seems like, and pay upwards of $1 million to get that education. They want to help. But again, I'm not going to beat around the bush. If you just take them all and put them in a bag and pull out the average person in the medical field cares about the profitability of it. And again, to do that, they got to keep you sick. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole too much, though. That could be a whole nother Tim rant that takes up a lot of time.
We've got some dissent for Vivek. I don't know if these are Trump supporters or if they don't like Vivek.
Well, if they're Trump supporters, they probably like Vivek because Trump likes Vivek.
I would think so.
If you guys don't like Vivek, that's up to you. You don't have to like Vivek. Yeah. I like Vivek. I like Vivek.
You don't have to like Vivek, but you can't have made money off pharmaceutical industry. If you do that, then you're on our bad side. Just kidding, of course. All right, I've got many friends who are in medical. It's not just these medical companies that are buying up Bitcoin. BlackRock has been buying Bitcoin for its own fund, the Strategic Income Opportunities Portfolio. Says this is due to probably a 13F filing for the SEC from BlackRock. This was brought to the attention of Bitcoin Archive by Macroscope 17. Pretty cool. You can see they're buying. They're buying quite a bit here. 88,000. It's probably in millions. So I won't try to interpret that filing without the scale there, but it's bullish, right? And whales are buying, but they're not just buying Bitcoin. Now, Tim, this is the top 5 altcoins: ETH, ADA, Solana, DOT, and MATIC. Poised for massive growth in the next 6 to 11 months, excuse me. So, Tim, I thought it'd be fun to kind of go through this article and get your take on these different coins that they're saying are going to be powerhouses in the next 6 to 11 months. So are you down?
Let's do it. Let's talk about it.
All right. So Ethereum is number 1. It's the DeFi powerhouse. Interesting characterization there. Cardano is the sustainable blockchain, Tim, in case you haven't heard. And then you got Solana. This is the high performance blockchain. Okay.
Now, can we pause? Just for a second? Can you scroll up for a second? I'm being very childish and a little bit of ADD here. What are these ads?
Right?
What have
I
you
don't
been
know.
shopping for?
It's to Temu, which is like the Japanese or something website. And it's dresses and it's watches and it looks like some kind of camping toilet that might fit in an RV as well.
Now, T-Shroom, how many likes for this stream to get you to go back to it, to purchase that like multicolored jumper and wear that on stream?
This one here? Yeah. We're going to need to get probably 2,000 likes.
2,000 likes, everybody. 2,000 likes, and we will get T-Shroom that outfit, and he'll wear it live on stream. You got to smash the like button, though. All right, sorry. That's my ADD. I'm sorry. Yeah. Let's go back into the article.
We got to get back on track. We got to get back on track here. So far, we've got Ethereum, Cardano, and we've got Solana, and also now we've got Polkadot. We're adding to the mix here, and ChainLink. So these are going to be the 5 that are, according to this article, they're poised for massive growth in the next 6 to 11 months. So, Tim, go ahead and rank those for me. I'm really interested to see what you have to say.
I want to start off by saying, obviously, it's not like only those 5 are going to pump. So the truth is, with the exception of ChainLink, it actually, I'll go ahead and start spoiling things. ChainLink's number 1. Why is it easy to say that? Number one, because it's number one when you compare it to a lot of other coins. I think the other four, when you really think about it, are going to have lesser gains than some other projects that are not listed on this. But I'm going to stick to these five. I'm going to rank these five for people. What I think will have the biggest gains from here on out in the next 6 to 11 months. So number one, I think it's pretty easy. ChainLink. ChainLink, why? Because I think that's going to be one of the largest gainers in crypto from this point on as a whole, let alone in this list of five. Number two is going to come down for me more than likely because I think that you still see an early pump for these ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaning a little bit more towards the next 6 months. I want to say Solana and Ethereum are going to be close, but let's go with Solana number two, Ethereum number three. I think I think the other things are going to outpace Ethereum, but I think we're about to enter into ETH season. ETH is already pumping right now. I think it almost touched 4,000 within the last couple of hours, to yesterday or something. But I don't think that the ETH season has truly taken off to where Ethereum. We're not talking heavily right now about the possibility of ETH flipping Bitcoin this bull market. You'll know we're in ETH season when there's a lot more opinion articles being put out about the possibility of ETH flipping Bitcoin, and there's going to have to be some sort of a rally on Ethereum that makes that seem somewhat plausible. That's why I think, especially towards the next 6 months, Ethereum could be up there, but I'm going to put it number three. And then between DOT and Cardano, I think these are similar, and I'm bullish on both of them. So don't take that I'm putting them down at 4 and 5 as saying that I'm not bullish on them. But I think I might go Polkadot number 4 and Cardano number 5. I've told you guys, I think Cardano is a late bloomer, not an early riser. I've seen a lot of articles out there. I love Cardano. I love what they're building. But I see all these articles and people that I really love and respect who love Cardano saying, watch out, guys, Cardano's about to take off. I don't think so. I think Cardano will take off when everything else takes off in a way, but it'll start to lag behind. I don't think Cardano has a special moment where everyone's just talking about Cardano for a while. We had like a week there a couple of months ago, remember? I mean, it was like everything else was kind of stalling out, and all of a sudden Cardano, boom, shoots up. It goes up towards 80 cents. We start talking about what's the possibility of $1. Yeah. I think it's going to be a moment again before Cardano is the coin in the sun that everyone's like, watch out, this is the number one coin this week. So for that reason, ChainLink number 1, Solana 2, Ethereum 3, and I'm leaning towards 6 months with this one, then Polkadot, then Cardano. If we're going to lead towards 11, I got to put Ethereum at the end because, again, it's already so big. If I'm talking about 11 to 12 months, probably saying still ChainLink number 1. Probably Polkadot number 2. And then maybe Cardano number 3, then 4 Solana, and then 5 Ethereum. Why are Ethereum and Solana at the end now at 12 months? Because they're already so large. It's going to be really hard for them to continue to put more X's behind their numbers because their market caps are already so astronomically high, so much higher than other altcoins out there. So that's my list. That's how I'd rank those in that order of these 5. But again, all 5 very bullish. All 5 of these are in my portfolio. All 5 of them are going to make me a good amount of money. John says, what about Ondo? Great example. Ondo's a coin that I would probably, if it was in this list, put it at number 2 behind ChainLink, ahead of the Polkadot and the Cardano and the Solana and others. But it wasn't on this list, so I don't get to rank that. MATIC wasn't on this list. AVAX wasn't on this list. ICP wasn't on this list. There's a lot of other ones I love.
Believer72 said
Caspa wasn't on this list. So
Hedera does more transactions than any other crypto. Fact. It's very strange why it's been ignored by the media. So, everybody's going to have one or two cryptos, that they're holding in their bag that just doesn't get talked about. My advice, not financial advice, scientific advice here is that you want to have high conviction coins and just stick to the conviction. If you have experience, going in and out, month to month of coins, then go for it if you've been profitable. I will tell you, I've been in crypto for a long time, going in and out and trying to swap Hedera for Atom and then going into Polkadot and then going back into Bitcoin. That is not, you can make a lot of money doing that. Don't get me wrong. And if you're making a lot of money, keep doing it, right? But I will say, especially for folks who are just getting started, that is a recipe for your emotions taking over and not being able to trade very well, not be able to be profitable. What's much better, in my opinion, is to buy high conviction coins. If you hear something devastating about it, right, like XRP has had some devastating news. I would say Hedera is not a bad coin. I think it's had some interesting kind of controversial news recently, but I think it's still on track to do well in the bull market. But don't be flip-flopping and trying to exit positions and go and swap for other coins. Hold your conviction coins, and with your income, buy new coins that you're interested in. I've done that with Ondo recently. I've done that with I always forget the name of this one. Pinellas? I want to say Pendle. Pendle. And then Stacks, right? So these are not coins that I funded the purchase of by selling Cardano or selling Solana or Ethereum or something like this. Anyway, that's my strategy. Other people don't use that and they're profitable. I think more people probably that are profitable are approaching the market in that way.
Yeah, I think so. Cool story there. What else we have here on the conversation table for today's show?
Well, Tim, you already gave your opinion on it. You said you think it's a little low. A little low, I think, but not crazy. This was a tweet from Watcher.Guru. Said, just in, $725 billion asset manager Bernstein predicts Bitcoin will hit 90K in 2024 and 150K in 2025. I want to say probably like a 10 to 15% revision to the downside from Bernstein. They have been on record as saying as high as 150,000 in 2024. So now they're pushing that prediction out further, and they're lowering their prediction for 2024.
Okay, so they in the past they were one of the 150K by the end of 2024 people.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I didn't remember that. Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
So
yeah,
it's a slight revision down. It's not astronomical. It's not 50%.
That's pretty significant move to downside. This is what I'll give them. While I disagree with them, I think those predictions are a little low. I think they're consistent. So what I mean by that is, let's say that by the end of 2024, the highest we've gotten was 90K. Then yeah, I think if we have not made it to 100K by the end of 2024, more than likely 150 to 175 probably will be the ceiling. I know there's been other people, even guests we brought on the show, that have kind of pinpointed the 175 as an interesting level to watch. But yeah, if we don't make it to 100K by 2024, yeah, I'm on board with this prediction. I think it's low because I think we do see 100K. I think we see even higher than 100K in 2024. Yeah. And then I think we get closer to, if not over 200K by the end of 2025. So it's not like this prediction is bonkers crazy. Like the people who are thinking that we don't even break 100K by the end of 2025, which I don't want, bonkers is the wrong word. I just think that that's a really bad take. Or even the people who are saying that we go to like 1 million by the end of 2025. That's a pretty bonkers / crazy take on the other side. I think this one makes sense and is consistent. It's just a little low for my personal opinion.
Gotcha. And I concur. I think 90,000 in 2024 is going to be blown out of the water, but this Bernstein is going to be, and it's an institution, right? So it's going to feel more comfortable taking a conservative position, which is a very nice transition into our next story. Donald Trump explores crypto solution for 35 trillion with a T dollar U.S. debt with Bitcoin expert. So this is actually really interesting. I don't know that I've been introduced to this figure until now. Maybe you have. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Did you know who David Bailey is? So David Bailey, he's the CEO of Bitcoin Magazine. He has been the one kind of in Trump's ear here, and this is a unprecedented headline, Tim. I mean, we talk about this maybe in like bro time type of setting of talking about the $1 trillion debt and what that could potentially mean for Bitcoin and things like that. But this is definitely something that does not circulate in mainstream media. Now it is. In a recent discussion, Trump's out there querying a lot of folks. He's queried David Bailey, CEO of Bitcoin Magazine, about Bitcoin's ability to address the nation's $35 trillion of debt. And Bailey jumped in, revealed the details of this conversation during a recent X Spaces session, noting that in their initial meeting, Trump inquired if Bitcoin could help alleviate the $35 trillion of national debt. Although Bailey had ideas, he wasn't prepared to discuss them in depth at the time. Over the past month, Bailey and his team have collaborated closely with Trump's campaign to develop pro-Bitcoin policies. We proposed a comprehensive executive order for President Trump to sign on day one. I will be sharing those details soon. Bailey announced. So I don't think I could overstate how curious I am to see what has been cooking up in the brew of Bailey, the CEO of Bitcoin Magazine, because it's going to be so interesting. I could come up with a couple ideas off the top of my head, but I'm going to sound a lot more like Rand Paul than you probably would expect. Tim, what do you think about this one?
I'm going to sound a little critical here, and nothing against Bailey. I will say it's a little interesting that you're meeting with the probable next president of the United States, and you didn't have a prepared statement or plan for how Bitcoin could fix the
Well,
debt?
it was in X Spaces. It wasn't a meeting.
Okay.
It was just an X Spaces.
Well, I thought it was said they had been kind of talking for a while then. But my next thought here, is it's really sad because what I'm about to say is not going to happen based off of the bad blood of politics and the fact that there's an election going. And for a while there was respect between these two people, but now it seems like they're going at each other's throats slightly. It'd be interesting to get Trump into a room with RFK. We've said that for a while. Obviously, when you're pro crypto, those are your two options for president. The question is the realistic expectation of Robert Kennedy winning, but RFK, he has said one of his staples, one of his platform things is that he's going to back the dollar with Bitcoin. He's going to solve national debt with it, which means he has prepared a statement. He has prepared a plan, and maybe Trump wouldn't like that plan, but I think it would at least be interesting for them to get in a room and for Trump to ask RFK, if you became president, how would you do this? Because that's what we need to have. Things like that happen. Guys, RFK's not going to win the presidency. But I think there's some really cool thoughts that RFK has. I would love to see our president. This would be where you want to get politics to. You don't want to have a president who just does whatever the right says or the left says. What's the best thought? What's the best idea? Even if you lose your election, did you have a good thought? It'd be cool if you could share that good thought. And if there was respect for the opposite party to take that into consideration and be like, that's actually a really good point. I actually discussed this yesterday, T-Shroom, with Sin City. I was on Sin City Crypto Show yesterday. If you're not subscribed over there, go subscribe. They're a very hardworking, fast-growing channel. But we kind of said who would be the best person to talk. It was one of our conversations. Who would be the best person to talk to Trump about Bitcoin? The proposed candidates were Michael Saylor, who obviously could come at it from more of a business side of things. And of course, he was a former very anti-Bitcoin person who now is the largest individual known owner of Bitcoin. Pretty crazy. The other thing would be potentially Kaiser. Could Kaiser come in and give Trump some good advice? But I like this. I like some other people potentially coming in. And again, maybe RFK, maybe
Tim, there's
Javier Milei. Javier Milei would be good to talk with Trump. Bukele would be good to talk to Trump.
Absolutely.
And of course, Vivek. Of course, Vivek knows a lot about Bitcoin. And he already is in the Trump year.
I think what's his name? I think Robert Mitchnick, the guy from Ripple. He was the one who went into BlackRock and flipped Larry Fink. I don't think that there's a better candidate than Robert Mitchnick. I mean,
okay,
in my opinion, because he was able to talk to a similar. Well, Robert Fink, Larry Fink, and Donald Trump are two very different people coming from different worlds, but they're both businessmen at the end of the day, right? I think what Robert was able to do with Larry not only convinced him, but put him into overdrive as one of the biggest leaders in the Bitcoin movement at the institutional level. Polymarket's currently putting Donald Trump ahead of Joe Biden 56
different points
to 37%, Tim. This is a wide margin. Got it illustrated here in charts. Have you ever seen a chart before, Tim? I don't know if I've ever. Okay, but as you can see,
stay away from them.
Very wide margin, starting basically May 11th. This was around the time when Trump started to come out and endorse crypto pretty heavily. And this is my take on it, is that Donald Trump really, I don't know that he can get much higher in the view of the crypto community, but if there was any more margin to earn, any more votes to earn in the crypto community, I think it's exactly what you just said, Tim, is just say, hey, I'm Donald Trump and I adopt the crypto policy of RFK. Right? And Vivek. I think Vivek and RFK are pretty much neck and neck in terms of their policy. Obviously, Vivek's out of the race, and to some extent, RFK as well. But I think that would be the only way.
it's not out of the equation for that to happen. And we're gonna get on. We're gonna go into some Q&A here in a second, guys. I gotta be leaving at 4. I have a meeting, so I wanted some time for Q&A. But we've seen Donald Trump attack individuals for political gain, and later go back and become friends with them, put them on his staff. I don't know about RFK if he'd be willing, but I think it's an interesting concept to say, all right, if Trump wins the presidency, which I think he will, whether you're voting for him or not, I think it's kind of foolish to not say at this point it's the most plausible outcome. It'd be interesting to see if he offered a position to RFK. I think that'd go a long way to a lot of moderate members. That would go a long way to a lot of moderate voters to say, all right, I'm not saying RFK has to be vice president. That was an interesting concept. We thought about it months ago. Doesn't need to be vice president, but in the cabinet, an advisory role, I think that could go a long way for helping Trump, if he's elected, keep a popular opinion in the moderate vote.
You've got the Department of Agriculture, Commerce, Defense, Education, Energy, Justice in the Interior, Urban Development, Afuera, am I right? Health and Human Sciences, probably. Anyway, there's a lot of different cabinet positions that could be filled by RFK. I don't know that Trump's going to want to go that route, but we'll see. I think Vivek, if he doesn't get vice president, I think he may end up on the cabinet. Man, he's been out there stumping for Trump pretty hardcore. I see him live still pretty much every day as if he's still running for president.
Stumping for Trump.
Stumping for Trump.
Nice.
Couple of more headlines.
We do have we have more?
Yeah, just real quick. Binance announces temporary Ethereum withdrawal freeze. Here's when. This one's just kind of a housekeeping one. This interruption is scheduled for May 29th as the exchange undertakes routine wallet maintenance. So don't be startled if on May 29th your Binance wallet is not letting you withdraw crypto or withdraw Ethereum specifically. That is scheduled maintenance. FTX executive who turned on Sam Bankman-Fried sentenced to 7.5 years in prison. And I kind of don't care about that, but maybe you do. CNBC seems to think that you do. So there you go.
There we go. All right, let's get into some Q&A. What do you guys want to talk about again? I got to leave here in about 13 minutes. Got a meeting I have to jump into. I will be on tonight. I don't know if it's starting right at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I will be on with Stocks with Josh. Again, it is Tuesday. We're having some technical Tuesdays over on his channel. Go check it out. Yowzer says Binance rug pull tomorrow. There we go. Get ready for it. There's going to be some people who didn't see that headline and have no idea what's going on. But I like it that Binance is kind of getting ahead of it, letting people know that is what is happening. Let's see here. What else do we have? Believers of you. I pray for an election that is fair and honest. I agree. If it is, Trump will win, and it won't be close. I don't know. I mean, I think I agree with that as well. And I hope you guys understand, like, I think eventually, I haven't officially decided who I'm voting for. And that's actually the very honest truth. I probably will say who I'm going to vote for just because I say that. But anyone who disagrees with my voting or T-shirts voting or anything, I want you to know, let's say you're out there, you're right now, you're like, Tim, I'm still leaning towards Joe Biden. I disagree with your thought, but that wouldn't make me not respect you as a person. And I'm sure you have your reasons that are important to you, and that is between you and the election poll. So, vote whoever you want to. I really hope there's nobody out there saying, gosh, if these guys think Trump is good, I hate them. Why do we have to be people like that? Yeah. Why can't we disagree and still respect each other? I'm going to respect you guys, whether you agree or disagree with me. And hopefully you guys return the same.
Now, if you vote, if you go out there and you vote for I don't know who the candidate is for the United States Communist Party, right? But if you go out and you start voting for somebody like that, that's a little different. But the two main parties, don't get upset at anybody in your family, at work. Just, the first person to ever get emotional in an argument is the loser, right? So if you're calling names and getting emotional in any political debate, you're a loser, right? And you need to work on it and be better because America's not going to turn the corner for a brighter tomorrow with a bunch of crybabies and sour saps. We had a super chat here. It was in Egyptian pounds.
Yes.
$200, 200 Egyptian pounds, excuse me, is $4.20. So you got to love that.
Nice.
Little 420 reference. But the super chat was as follows.
Okay.
Could you please give more information about meme coins this bull run and potential movement? Getting a lot of questions about meme coins, Tim. What do you think?
People are going to make some money. Others are going to lose a lot of money. I am not going to be in either of those categories because I probably won't buy any and I won't sell any because I didn't buy them. I will say there's ones out there that I think are going to continue to do very, very well. We've actually on this show predicted they would do well. For example, uh, back in January, we had a show where we we had coin selections, and we both Tishu and I had to select one meme coin, and I selected MAGA.
Yep.
Just because I know how people do things, and MAGA, I think since that time is up in the 1,000th percentile. I think it's going to continue to go up as we get into election season. I think Pepe. I mean, Pepe was a massive meme well before cryptocurrency, so I think Pepe is still one that is going to do well. If we get more information out of Elon and X, I think that Dogecoin continues to push towards and maybe get over $1, especially if we get that final announcement that X will be using Dogecoin as a currency on the platform. That being said, meme coins are and will always be based off of excitement and emotional trading. What is the thing that we tell you guys not to do when it comes to trading? Don't be emotional when you come to trade, but that depends all on it. And ultimately, if you don't know much about meme coins, all you know is about people making a lot of money or seeing outrageous gains. There's a small group of people in every single meme coin, and I'm telling you guys right now, they talk to each other. They're the cool guys they're the cool kids on the playground, and they'll pump and they'll pump and they'll hold and they'll wait for those big gains, and then without any reason, trigger whatsoever, they will talk to each other and say, "All right, guys, time to dump. Let's all sell." And they'll sell and they'll make a boatload of money. Unfortunately, the average retail investor like you and me, who are not in that special cool kid group, will get stuck with the bill. We'll buy those high levels, and by the time we come out, we either broke even at best or more than likely lost money. So, teaching us about meme coins, can you make money? Yes, you can. But more often than not, people who make money in meme coins are more lucky than they are skilled. So it's a very dangerous place, and you're not going to see me messing with it. Also, just another reason why I've kind of been encouraged over the last couple of days to maybe stay away from the meme coins as a whole, especially ones I'm not familiar with. The ones I just talked about, they're more known. They have higher market caps. I don't think they're going to crumble. But a lot of people are looking at the no-name meme coins, meaning the ones that no one's heard of. Be careful with that. Why? Because I've seen over the last 7 days, I think 4 or 5 friends of mine in the crypto space be hacked, but they put out, the hackers put out a tweet on their platform pretty much acting as if they're them, saying, "Oh, this is the next great meme coin, go buy it." And it pretty much, when you connect your wallet to it, it drains your account. The meme coin world is full of a lot of really dangerous, crazy stuff. And so it's almost like the concept of, if you're in a big city, maybe you could take a shortcut to get to somewhere faster by cutting down some dark alleys.
It's a good analogy, Tim.
But your risk of being robbed or beaten up or killed rises dramatically. I'd rather keep to the main streets, take the walk a little bit slower, and know what I'm investing in and out of, rather than risk all the backdoor alleys to get there faster. That's what the meme coin world is to me.
That's really good. Well said, Tim. I like that a lot. And look, I hold Ordi, I hold Dogecoin, right? Is it the worst thing in the world to hold, big coins? No. I mean, they're the bigger the meme coin, the more likely it is to succeed, in my opinion. That's, I don't think that's financial advice. I just think that that's statistically kind of what I've seen. Pepe, Dogecoin seem like they're here to stay, whatever that means in the meme coin context. But it's exactly like you said, Tim, is that if there's anything that's manipulated in crypto, it's the meme coins are just pure manipulation, because it's all culture. And in some sense, the lines even of manipulation and just culture are kind of being grayed out to where, I'm not even really mad. Like, if I'm in a meme coin and it goes up or down, I'm not necessarily mad that it's going down, because it's a cultural thing. It's like, oh, now the meme's down. It's like, so whereas here on the Investing Bros, we'll talk about meme coins every once in a while, but we like to be more grounded. We like to focus on value. We like to focus on return on investment and finding great levels to trade and finding great projects to invest in. If you want to look into memes, there's other great channels that do that, whether on Twitter or YouTube. But here, you're going to find just a lot more wisdom, a lot more methodical ways to still make a crap ton of money and beat the S&P at the end of the day.
Yeah, got a lot of questions in here about Chainlink. I think Frenzy plays. I don't know if he's made all the comments. I think other people have asked about Chainlink as well, but he has the most recent one. What's the lowest I should wait to buy more Chainlink? Username's going to love this. He always loves when we say buy Chainlink. Not to give you guys financial advice. I always just say Tim's going to buy more Chainlink. Let's go to my chart here. I'm going to start off by saying, again, more than likely, you should be asking the question, where should I be buying Chainlink for the long term, at least the next 12 to 18 months? In which case, I'm going to tell you now. Don't wait for a drop. Just go now, because I'm not convinced one has to happen. But if one were to happen, there's an interesting level. There's an order block down at $17. There's a rising smart trail on the 4-hour chat that more than likely is going to come into equation somewhere just south of $18. We actually saw today we dipped a little bit below 18, but there's a lot of things kind of showing more upward mobility for Chainlink than downward action. So I'm not saying that's the wrong question. What's the lowest I should wait to buy Chainlink? But I'm saying if I gave you that answer, there's a good chance you're disappointed. Look at the oscillators here. Of course, we hit the take profit here more recently. Maybe we see a correction, but even as we have slowly but somewhat come down in price action, look what the oscillator is doing. They're just continuing to move bullishly. We dropped to the 50 line on stochastics, bullish cross right there. Didn't even make it down to the 50. We're moving bullishly on the RSI as well. MACD's moving bullishly. We had that big bearish divergence, red reversal, bearish momentum, and yet the money flow continues to be positive. And now you're seeing the momentum start to go back to the upside here. I'm not convinced. I'm not saying there's an out. I'm not saying you can't see a move back down towards $17 or so, but I am not going to sit here. Me personally, I'm not going to sit here and wait on it. I think there's a decent chance that Chainlink is going to continue up and to the right. And of course, yesterday on my show where we talked a lot more about Chainlink, we discussed that kind of more in depth, how there's an outside chance that Chainlink kind of disregards and doesn't care about waiting its turn when it comes to, well, we're in the Bitcoin season. The Bitcoin dominance, even though it's dropping now, is still high. We're going to enter into Ethereum season where Ethereum just takes over, takes dominance from Bitcoin. It goes crazy. And then after that, it's altcoins. That's when most altcoins will have to wait their turn. I think there's a chance Chainlink, just like it did back in August of 2023, where it started rallying earlier than other coins, I think you might see Chainlink do a similar movement again now where separate it from the bunch. Bitcoin, Ethereum, the other altcoins, they'll have to follow some rules. I think Chainlink does its own thing and goes up into the right. And so for that reason, could you wait for 17? You could if you wanted to, but I can't guarantee you there will ever be an option for that one again. If I'm sitting here, I have a decent sized bag of Chainlink. I need to invest. If I get some more dry powder in, I need to invest in some other things. But if I had the room to get more Chainlink, I'm getting it now. I'm not waiting for a lower price action on this one. To me, we're low as a whole right now in the long term.
For sure.
Surge Party King said, hey, Tim. Yeah, there's also a really good gym philosophy. I mostly got all natural in the gym. Don't really use too many supplements. Same concept. We're talking about like with all, maybe with meme coins. Maybe it goes back to meme coin. Like, yeah, like doing meme coins, like taking like performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah, I think that's quite a stretch.
Which will come back to bite you. Yeah, it's a weirder analogy, but I see what you're doing there. I see what the concept is.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Tim, take a look at this right here.
Uh-oh.
This is BloFin. And you, as you can see, it looks like Trading View here. You can enter and exit positions just like you may be familiar with other platforms for trading. They are the ones bringing you this episode. They're also the ones bringing you the factoid of the day, Tim. And the factoid of the day is today, on a per capita basis, which U.S. city had the highest rate of non-negligent manslaughter in 2019? And Tim, I've told you that you need to be studying the crime statistics for the U.S. So if you haven't been studying them, then you're going to probably get this wrong. But Tim, go ahead and take a guess. St. Louis, Detroit, Chicago, Kansas City. What do you got?
I mean, Chicago and Detroit are almost always in this category. I don't actually know that much about St. Louis. There's a part of me that wants to slip in Kansas City here.
What part of you is it?
This part right here.
Okay.
So
just kind of the bicep.
Yeah, the bicep wants to say Kansas City. Because it seems like the obvious and easy answer would probably be Detroit. I mean, Chicago and Detroit are both pretty hard. Non-negligent manslaughter, meaning they did it on purpose. I'm gonna go for a long haul. It might be B or C. I'm gonna go with A though. I feel like this might be a trick question. Kansas City, I think, is a dangerous place. I'm surprised Memphis isn't on this list. Memphis is pretty dangerous as well.
St. Louis.
The one that I didn't say, I knew it was a trick question one way or the other, and I didn't get to the trick. All right, St. Louis.
So, Tim, Memphis is actually number one, but that's for the current statistics. This was from 2019, and that was specified in the factoid.
Okay, all right, I feel good then.
You feel good about what?
I got away on a technicality because I threw in there at the end that Memphis should have been up there. And like you said, it's number one right now. So yeah. I feel like I'm going to take the moral win here. That I didn't get the answer right, but I had the right trajectory of thought. Oh,
absolutely, Tim. I couldn't agree with you more on that. I think you're right on point. Taking a look here, Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri is, if you organize it by murder and non-negligent, why won't that thing go away? Non-negligent manslaughter, it is Missouri, St. Louis. That is actually in the lead with 66 murders per 100,000 people. Now, the best that they keep statistics on is actually, is it mobile? It's not. I think the statistical area. It's Anchorage, Alaska has the least amount there, but that's, again, per capita, which is very, very small capital. Irvine, California, that's the lowest one. There's not even one murder in the entire year of 2019, I guess. For 100,000 people. That's pretty impressive, Irvine. Give yourselves a pat on the back.
Yeah.
Crime statistics, cool. Tim, do you think they're important?
They are. I mean, I think it is good to know the crime in your local city.
It's also good to know the price per coin, which is why we use BloFin for leverage trading and for trading in general.
Yep. Well, hey, T-Shroom, you wrap out the rest of the show. I got to go. Got to get in a meeting. The rest of you guys, love you. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you on Stocks with Josh and come watch me here in about an hour or so. See you guys tomorrow.
All right. Adios. I don't know what Tim means by wrap out the show. We're here. We're live. And now I'm super nervous. I don't know what to do. Believe it or not, Crux said, Believer, love that comment. What did Believer say? Let's see. Believer72 said, as we all invest, don't forget the moist, important investments. Love, forgiveness, help, and give. Investing with God is never a bear market. Man, that is really, really well said. You get the air horn, sir. Bros, make sure that on the way out, you are smashing the like button. Annihilate that like button. I want you to even get so hardcore with it, you may have to invest in a new device, whether it be a laptop or a mobile device. And make sure that you consider subscribing if you've had fun here. I know I have. And I'll end off as I end off the 9 a.m. stream. If you're staying hydrated, it mean you're human. Definitely stay hydrated, guys. It's important for your brain health. And if you're trading, keep those stop losses tight. Thank you, BloFin, for making this episode happen. Adios.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms news, got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.